fuel line, looks like just a fuel line, 2 bolts, and then the throttle linkage. So that should be relatively easy. Famous last words, because everything I touch falls apart. So we'll see. Back with a 10 on. By golly, she fits. How about that? So we'll just run these bolts out. So that bolt in the back, that guy right here, that one's going to be kind of a pain. So I'm going to hang you up here for a minute and I'll get that bolt out of there. Here she goes. All right. Hot in the bucket. Looks like we got her. That was a phrase that my Uncle Butch used to use. Butch was cool. He died last year. Super cool guy. Owned a salvage yard. So, he's always fun to hang out with. He had a mouth on him. Didn't care. Kind of like me. Because I really don't care either. Alright, so we're down to just getting this fuel line off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this fuel line off of here. There's just one of those little spring clamp deals on there. You just grab pliers and come up with it. I'm going to put a container up underneath here because there still is fuel in the tank in this one. And I want to catch all of that fuel that comes out of there. It's probably going to be pretty nasty, so I'll put it in a clear container so we can take a look at it too. Kind of analyze the fuel scientifically. One of my favorite tools here. This is, these are snap-on pliers, but I use these for a lot. These things are giant, and they got the curved end on them. So I use the crap out of these things. I use them on a lot of stuff. So if you ever get onto a snap-on truck, grab yourself some of those. You can probably get them at Harbor Freight too, but I like the snap-on stuff. But I don't know. It's up to you. It's your life. So, back on the carburetor. So I've got the... Alright, so I got the bolt loose. I'm going for this fuel line now. And let's get a clear container. This is just one that I found on my bench here. This is from some Harbor Freight, like bungee cords or elastic cords or something. But hopefully it'll hold up to gasoline. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll take this clamp, pull that clamp, shoop, just pinch it, bring it up like that. And then I'll take the pliers here. I'm going to pinch that fuel line. I wouldn't do that with like old fuel line because it's going to just crumble to bits. However, if it does crumble to bits, you probably need a fuel line. So It's up to you. So I'll pull that fuel line off of there while keeping it pinched. It's not going to hurt it at all. It's just regular old rubber. So you can see I've got it pinched yet, so nothing's coming out. And I'll stick my container up under there and then, completely miss it. And into the container it goes, and that looks nasty. So she's still draining, but kind of tired of waiting, so we're going to help it along a little bit. Like I said, safety is our #1 concern here. So we're going to pressurize the fuel tank by using your mouth. See, that can be the new COVID test, if you do that. Because if you don't have any lung function, then you won't be able to pressurize your Briggs & Stratton fuel tank. Look at this crap right here. Doesn't that look nice? So, yeah. When your fuel looks like, you know, you just got up from a night of drinking cheap bourbon and Bud Lights, and then it's kind of got floaties in it like apple cider. That's not good. So, yeah, it's all cloudy. Can't even see through it. Yeah, that's garbage. So I think we found our problem here. Got some rotten fuel in it, and I bet that carburetor is going to be all plugged up. So let me finish getting this carburetor off of here, and we will have a look inside. See what we've got. Good God. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think we got it. Let's see if I can get in there with my fingers. Fingers are kind of fat and this thing's a little small, so let's see what we got going on. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Ha, I win. So, throttle linkage. So that throttle linkage right there is, this comes off of the governor, which goes in behind here. This has got a wind vane style governor. So when the cooling fan is running, which is up underneath here attached to the flywheel, when the cooling fan runs, it blows air across that governor, and it will close the throttle based on airflow, on cooling fan airflow. So as your engine's running faster, that air vane governor will close the throttle off, so it's not under as much of a load. It keeps it at a constant speed. So when you put it under a load, like if you run into some heavy snow, or if you're in a lawnmower or something like that, and you run into, you know, deep grass because you haven't cut your lawn in 20 years, the wind speed through the air vane governor is going to drop, so it's going to come back and open the throttle more. So that's how your lawnmower or snowblower or any sort of governed small engine keeps a constant engine speed. So if you've got something that just drops off into low Earth orbit as soon as you start it, your air vane is probably stuck, or you've got a mouse nest in here or something like that. So that's something good to check if you have that problem. But this one, I don't remember it having that problem, but we'll see once it runs. So carburetor is going to come off like that, and then the throttle linkage goes through. There's this little tiny little spring up under there. And see that little guy? So we got to disconnect that little tiny spring right there. We got to pull it back and kind of get it out of there. This is where these pliers come in really handy too. So you can just grab the little tiny end of that guy, like that. Pull it up. Pull it up. Oh God! Just like that. There we go. So that's out. Now we're going to finagle this carburetor around because it's on a little tiny piece of linkage here. So we got to kind of break that loose and get it out of its little tiny plastic holder deal. So let me put you back up on the stool here and then we'll see if we can get this guy out of here. Pull that governor back all the way. If we can get this carburetor just the right angle. Like that, work it back and forth. Looks like it's coming. Just like that. So you just got to get it right at the right angle and it'll come out. So there she is. Got the carburetor out. So let me clear all this garbage off the bench, and we'll put you on the bench and we'll do a teardown on it. See what's wrong.